All right, everybody, welcome to the Fat Method Club. I'm super excited to have you guys inside this group and in this new coaching program that I've established for nurses. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Eating for Life phase of the Fat Method Nutrition Program. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, quick tip, make sure you guys grab a pen and paper and take notes. Now, the great thing about these videos as you guys are watching it, you guys can hit the pause button, and I highly suggest that you do that. I'm also going to suggest that you guys go ahead and watch this video a couple times, 2 or 3 times in the next week or so, next 2 weeks, to go ahead and just reestablish everything that you're learning. But as you go through it, once you learn something, taking notes, make sure you pause it and then just move on. And just be really patient. This is going to be a totally different way of than most of you have ever ate before in your life. So you guys got to be patient. We want to give yourself a good 4 weeks to really get this part of the program down, because this is the foundation of the whole entire program. If we don't get a good baseline down here, the rest of the stuff that I'm going to teach you just won't work. So we got to go ahead and get this nutrition down and get your metabolism going. So there's 2 phases of the nutrition program. The first one's the Eating for Life phase, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And then there's the Fat Loss Accelerator phase, which really helps accelerate the weight loss. But again, like I just mentioned, we got to get the Eating for Life phase down first. We got to get your metabolism going before we can implement the Fat Loss Accelerator phase. So we want to be patient, be consistent, but be patient. All right. So before we get going into the specifics of the nutrition program, I need to educate you guys a little bit about metabolism and why dieting destroys metabolism, so you guys can understand exactly the way that I'm teaching you and why we want to try and eat the way that I'm going to teach you, so that you guys can finally get the results that you're looking for. So what we got to do is we got to get your metabolism going. Most of my coaching clients are over the age of 40, and your metabolism really starts to slow down after age 40. So this is an important step that we get the metabolism going. In order to effectively lose weight, you need to speed up your metabolism and get it going, and then you have to learn how to protect it. Now, your metabolism for most women over age 40 can get slower and slower every single year, and the main reason why that is because of muscle loss. But what's great about metabolism is that you control it. So you can speed it up with the simple steps that I'm going to go ahead and teach you today, especially with the nutrition part of this program. So let's talk a little bit more about it. What exactly is metabolism? So the simple definition of metabolism is the rate at which you burn calories to sustain life. Now, someone who burns more calories throughout the daytime just has a faster metabolism compared to someone whose metabolism is a little bit slower. So if you want a faster metabolism, all you have to do is learn how to burn more calories throughout the daytime, because you control your metabolism. And that's what we're going to do with the food, with the Eating for Life phase. We're going to start speeding up your metabolism just by eating the right food every day. So eating the right nutrients at the right intervals throughout the daytime gives you a 15% increase in your metabolism every single day. Now, when you're a nurse, this is going to be a little bit more challenging, but that's why I'm here. I exclusively coach nurses, so I'm going to show you guys how to make this work, even if you're a busy nurse. So eating gets you to increase metabolism. So let me explain this. Every time that you eat food and then you digest it, you have to digest it through digestion and absorption. And when you do that, you burn calories in that process. And like I just told you, anytime that you're burning more calories, you're actually speeding up your metabolism. This is why we want to try and eat every 3 to 4 hours as best that you can, because if you're constantly digesting food, you're burning more calories throughout the daytime, which helps increase your metabolism. Now, again, I'm going to give you an analogy of like a campfire. I love to go camping. I live in Minnesota. We love to go up to northern Minnesota, and I got a campground up there, and my kids like to cook like s'mores at nighttime. So when I get the fire going, when the fire starts to go out, I got to put another piece of wood on the fire to help keep it going. Think of this every time that you're supposed to eat. You're putting another piece of wood on the fire to get it to burn and heat up your body and digest those macronutrients. And when you're digesting those macronutrients, it helps you increase your metabolism because you're burning calories. Now, I know it can be challenging to eat every 3 to 4 hours when you're a nurse, but I'm going to show you specifically how to do it. Now, you're not going to be perfect every time when you're working, but we really want to focus on the days that you're not working how to do this, and I will teach you strategies and techniques that will show you guys how to get something into your body every 3 to 4 hours for most of you. And again, it might not be perfect all the time, but we just want to stay consistent as we possibly can. Now, when you cut back on nutrition and you cut back on calories for a prolonged period of time, it actually destroys metabolism. And that's what happens with diets. When you cut back on calories day after day, week after week, it destroys metabolism. If you're cutting out carbs every single day, it destroys metabolism. And let's say you're cutting out on protein and you're just eating carbs, that destroys metabolism as well. So dieting, again, and cut out the calories destroys metabolism. So let me read this to you. When you start to cut back on calories for a prolonged period of time, your body goes into a protective mode, which I call starvation mode, where it starts to store more fat and then it cannibalizes muscle tissue for energy. It does this because it thinks that you're starving yourself, so it starts to eat your muscle for energy. Now, you necessarily don't need muscle to survive, but you do need fat to survive. So that's really important that you guys understand starvation mode, and this is why diets don't work. When you're starving yourself day after day, your brain thinks that you're starving. It starts to cannibalize muscle tissue for energy and actually starts storing more fat from the food that you're eating because you've got to have fat to survive. It's one of your main energy sources to sustain life. So that's really important. When you start eating, you're going to increase metabolism. If you're starving yourself day after day, it actually will destroy metabolism. So let me give you an example. Back in 2018, I have a personal training studio here in the hometown that I live at. And I put 5 of my clients on a 6-week keto diet for a test. Now, if you're not familiar with the keto diet, it's just a low carbohydrate diet. And again, when you're just cutting out the carbs, you're just cutting back on the calories. So what I did is I took their body fat at the beginning of the program and I determined through that calculation how much muscle each one of them had and how much fat each one of them had. And that's the only way you can determine that. When you just step on the scale, it tells you your overall body weight. But when you know how to do your body fat, you can figure out how much muscle you have on your body and how much fat you have on your body. Now, at the end of the 6 weeks, they all lost a decent amount of weight, and the average weight loss was around 12 pounds. What I did then after the program then is I reperformed their body fat calculation, and I discovered the average fat loss through the 6 weeks was only 3 pounds, but the average loss of muscle tissue was actually 9 pounds. So, if they're losing 9 pounds of muscle and only 3 pounds of fat, do you think that's healthy? Do you think they're going in the right direction? No, they're actually destroying metabolism because muscle is metabolism. And again, when they cut out the carbs, all they did was cut back on calories. Their body went into starvation mode and they started cannibalizing muscle tissue for energy. So again, they lost 9 pounds of muscle and only 3 pounds of fat. So here's the vicious dieting cycle. And that's why they call it yo-yo dieting. Typically, you'll go on some kind of diet. And what happens is you start decreasing your calories from the diet. And when you do that, then, you're hungry all the time because you're starving yourself. And eventually, then what happens is you fall off the diet. Now, when you fall off the diet, your body goes into what's called the feast response. And that's where you start eating everything in sight because you were so hungry for a prolonged period of time because you were starving yourself every single day. Now, when you started getting those increasing those calories, and because your metabolism got destroyed, you gain all the weight back plus extra, and you become overweight again, and then you repeat the vicious dieting cycle because you're looking for your next diet. But not anymore. Now that you guys know that dieting destroys metabolism, we are never going to go on another diet ever again. Now, the weight that you lose on the diet, it doesn't, you lose it from muscle and water weight. It's not all body fat that you're losing. And again, that destroys metabolism, increase in stored body fat, and it puts your body in starvation mode. Now, when you slow down your metabolism, then it's because it's a loss of muscle tissue. The weight that you gain back after a diet then doesn't come back as fat and muscle. It comes back exclusively as body fat. So even though you lost a whole bunch of weight, you lost the wrong kind of weight. It was mostly muscle. That's why your body fat actually goes up. All right. So I think I skipped a slide here. Okay, so let's talk about then the Eating for Life program. So this is the first phase of my nutrition program on the FAT method. And you guys will learn more about what FAT stands for here in the next coaching session. So let's talk about the Eating for Life. So what you guys want to try and do is eat a meal every 3 to 4 hours as best that you can. Now, you should really, really try to attempt this, on your days that you're not working when you can. On your days that you're working, then, you probably won't be able to eat every 3 to 4 hours. I'm going to teach you guys some strategies that will help you do that. Some quick and easy meals and some meal replacements that count as complete meals. But, when you can, you want to try to eat every 3 to 4 hours. If you can only eat, if you're at work and you can only eat every 4 to 5 hours, that's fine as well. But you guys should try to have at least 3 meals a day to keep the metabolism going. Now, what you want to try and do then is eat 3 to 5 meals a day to keep that metabolism stoked. And I'm going to show you guys in the food plan too how to do this. So again, a minimum of 3 meals, a maximum of 5 meals. Now, my clients who, let's say, aren't nurses, who don't have such a strict schedule with their nutrition, they typically eat every 3 to 4 hours, and that gets the metabolism going. Now, every time that you guys eat, you should try to contain a carbohydrate portion and a protein portion. Now, again, when you're at work, again, that might not be possible. I mean, it is possible. You just got to plan ahead of time, and again, I'm going to help you guys with that. But if you can't do it every single time, don't get down on yourself. But when you get a carbohydrate portion and a protein portion, there's many benefits, and I'll explain that in a second. Now, again, your days off, though, the days that you're not working, you definitely should get a carbohydrate portion and a protein portion every time that you eat a meal. Now, a portion size for carbohydrates is roughly the size of your clenched fist, and a portion of protein is roughly the size of the palm of your hand or like the size of a hockey puck. So we just want to keep things to portion sizes because we don't want to start counting calories as it gets way too difficult and way too demanding. And what I've discovered over the last 24 years of being a coach is that when you keep things to portion sizes, compared to trying to keep track of calories and macronutrients, they're really, really close. And that's all we want to do is be really, really close because your body won't know the difference. We're going to be in a calorie deficit just by keeping things into portion sizes, so you guys will start losing weight, but you'll still keep your metabolism going because we're eating every couple hours and getting 3 to 5 meals a day. Now, I say meals, some of you might say snacks. It doesn't matter if it's a snack. The snack still should contain a carbohydrate portion and a protein portion. Every time that you eat, you try to get a carb and a protein. Now, what we want to do then, let's say you're shooting for, let's say, 3 meals a day. That means you'd eat 3 portions of carbs a day and 3 portions of protein a day. Now, to at least 2 of the meals then, you want to add vegetables to those meals and 2 portions of healthy fats every day. And then what you're going to do is you want to try to eat as best that you can like this for 6 consecutive days in a row. Then on the 7th day, we're going to have what I call a free day or a cheat day. That's the day that you can splurge a little bit. You know, let's say you got a wedding in the summer coming up, and you know the wedding's on a Saturday. That Saturday should be your free day so you can enjoy the day and you don't have to worry about, you know, eating the right nutrients or the portion sizes. You can just enjoy the day. If you like to have a cocktail once in a while, that's going to be on your free day, but you only get 1 free day every single week. Now, in the beginning, the first month, what I suggest is you just enjoy the day and don't worry about anything. When you hit month number 2, I would suggest cutting it back to like half a free day. And when you start getting into month number 3, I would cut down to like a free meal, like every, you know, 4 to 6 days. 1 meal every 4 to 6 days would be like a cheat or a free day. But this way you don't feel deprived. You know, you can't feel deprived. You can't, you know, restrict everything out of your life because you'll never be able to maintain it then. You know, if you tell yourself, oh, I can't have ice cream, you're always thinking about ice cream, and the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go and have it. But if you know 1 day out of the week you can have some ice cream and it's not going to hurt your results, you're more than likely going to go ahead and stick to that. This free day also then, when you eat a little bit more on that free day, it also helps keep your metabolism going and keeps your body out of starvation mode. And it also then, what it'll do is you're not going to feel really great. You know, by the end of the day, you're not going to feel great when you start eating healthy and then you have a splurge for 1 day. It's going to motivate you to get back on track the next day. Now, as far as water is concerned, you want to drink half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to establish a water plan. Even when you're a busy nurse, I'll show you how to get the right amount of water in every single day. It doesn't matter if you can't drink water at work. I will still show you how to do this as best that you can. And I'm also going to suggest that you guys try AvoCare meal replacement shakes and bars to keep it simple and easy. Now, you don't have to use these. In fact, I'd rather have you have a solid meal, but these AvoCare meal replacement shakes and bars really, really make it simple and easy when you can't get solid meals at work or regular meals at work. And we'll talk more about that in a second. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the nutrition emergency kit at work, and we'll talk more in detail about that in 2 weeks, about how I'm going to give you guys some suggestions of things that you should be keeping at work. You know, in my Facebook group, a lot of nurses say that one of the hardest parts about losing weight is that everything in the break room is not good for you. Well, if there's foods in the break room that aren't good for you, there's no reason why you can't keep food in there that is good for you. It's just a choice is all it is. You just got to plan ahead of time and make a choice and be disciplined. So we'll talk more about the nutrition emergency kit that you should keep at work in 2 weeks in the next coaching session. But we will talk about meal replacement shakes and nutrition bars and how it helps keep things simple and easy with an eating plan like this. So why do you guys want to try and eat like this? Besides keeping the metabolism going, the thermic effect of food, again, is metabolism. We'll talk about that in a second. There's certain nutrients that your body's got to work harder to digest and break down. And when you're working harder, that helps you increase calories. And when you're increasing calories, again, it increases metabolism. But when you eat like this too, your blood sugar state is more stable and balanced throughout the daytime, and your energy is going to soar when that happens. You never get to the point where you're really hungry if you're eating every 3 to 4 hours. And if you're never really hungry, you have less cravings and you stay more consistent with your nutrition. And again, energy, energy, energy. When you eat every 3 to 4 hours, your energy is going to soar through the roof. Now, when blood sugar is stable, your body releases fat much more effectively as well, and that's going to help the scale go down. You know, when you're having a meal, let's say 6 or 7 hours apart, your blood sugar is all over the place, and your body just doesn't like to release fat. When your blood sugar is more stable and balanced, and that's going to happen when you eat every 3 to 4 hours, it's going to help with the scale weight going down. Now, again, being a busy nurse, you might not be able to eat every 3 to 4 hours. That's totally fine. We just want to make sure you're getting at least 3 meals a day. Even if you're super busy, I know you can get 4 meals a day with the meal replacement shakes and bars that I'm going to talk about in a second. So I know you guys can do this. Don't tell yourself you can't do this. I've never coached a nurse who can't do it as long as she puts a little bit of effort into it and establishes a really good plan. And again, if you guys are confused on how to do that, I'm going to teach you in the second coaching video in 2 weeks how to do it. And you guys can always ask questions in the Facebook group, and I'll help you in the Facebook group. So let's talk about the thermic effect of food. Like I told you earlier, there's certain nutrients, macronutrients that your body's got to work harder to digest and break down. Now, the least thermic nutrient is fat. For every 100 calories of fat that you ingest, your body only burns 5 calories to break it down and digest it. When you ingest carbohydrates, then, every 100 calories of carbohydrates, your body burns approximately 10 calories to digest it and break it down. So carbohydrates gives you the double thermic effect compared to fat. When you ingest 100 calories of vegetables, the veggies, your body's got to work even a little bit harder to break it down, so it burns anywhere from 12 to 15 calories for every 100 calories that you ingest. And protein is the most thermic nutrient. When you ingest 100 calories of protein, what it does is your body burns 25 calories to break it down and digest it. So your body's got to work the hardest breaking protein down. So this is another main reason why we want to get a carbohydrate portion and a protein portion in your meals. When you combine those two nutrients together, your body's working harder to break it down, and when it's working harder, it's burning more calories. If you're burning more calories, you're increasing your metabolism. So this is really important. Now, the other main reason why is we want to get a carbohydrate every 3 to 4 hours is carbs are one of our main sources of energy, so that'll help give you energy. And again, protein is the building block for muscle tissue, and muscle is metabolism. So that's why we want to go ahead and combine those nutrients and try to eat every 3 to 4 hours as best that you can. So here's a quick smart food list, and again, in the PDF document you guys got in the email for the week 1 coaching session, I've got a list of this. This is just a small list. There's much more out there, but I wanted to give you guys some ideas. So carbohydrates, again, is like fruit, cereal, oatmeal, bread, rice, granola, certain beans, popcorn, sweet potato, corn are all examples. Protein then, again, like for muscle and metabolism, protein, and carbohydrates is for energy. Eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken, turkey, deli slices, beef, fish, whey protein, and again, we'll talk about Avocare in a second. Pork, beef jerky, cottage cheese, turkey burgers, those are all examples of protein. Healthy fats are like salad dressings, avocados, salads. That's a misprint, that salad should be salads or vegetables. Almonds, walnuts, oils, and like peanut butter. And then the veggies, again, are like salads, green beans, broccoli, cauliflower, and like peppers. And again, I've got more of a list for you in the email that you guys got when you signed up. All right, so how do you tell if something is a carbohydrate or if it's a protein or if it's a fat? Well, one, you use that smart food list. That'll help you guys. But the other thing what you want to do is you want to look at nutrition labels. So here's an example of a product that I just pulled up together, a hypothetical product. So let's say it's a nutrition bar. And the serving size is 1 bar, so every time you eat the bar, everything in that bar is you're going to have 200 calories. There's 7 grams of fat every time that you have the bar. There's 10 grams of carbohydrates. There's total sugars of 6 grams of carbohydrates of those, and there's 20 grams of protein. Now, if you don't know if something's a protein or a carb or a fat, Whatever is higher in grams per serving, that's what you consider it nutrient-wise. So this product here would be considered a protein. So what you would do is you'd consider this your protein, and then you'd want to add another carb with it. So if you had this bar, then you could have like an apple with it. That's going to get your carbs up and keep everything fairly balanced. We always want to keep everything pretty balanced. Your carbs are always going to be a little bit bigger than the protein portions, but everything is pretty close and pretty balanced. We want to keep things balanced and keep it simple and easy to portion sizes. So that's how you determine, if something's a carb, a protein, or a fat. Now, let me give you another example. I'm going to say peanut butter. Peanut butter is a fat, but a lot of people think that peanut butter is protein because in other, diets, they've told you that before. But if you look at the nutrition label on peanut butter, it's always got more grams of fat compared to grams of protein. So it's considered a fat. So that's how you determine if you don't know. Use the Smart Food List, but look at the nutrition label. Whatever is higher in grams per serving, that's what you consider it nutrient-wise. All right, so let me show you guys a quick day. Let's plan out some meals here. So this is an example now. Again, use your Smart Food List, but let's say this is a day that you're not at work. Maybe this is an example. So let's say meal number 1 for your carb, you had Cheerios, and for some protein, you had like maybe 3 eggs. Your eggs are the protein, the Cheerios are the carbohydrate. Meal number 2 then, let's say you had an apple and some cottage cheese. The apple would be the carbohydrate, and the cottage cheese would be the protein. Now, next to these foods, I've got a C and a P. C stands for carb, P stands for protein, F stands for fat, V stands for vegetable. All right, meal number 3 then. Maybe you have like a baked potato with a chicken breast and a salad. So the baked potato will be the carb, the chicken breast will be the protein, the salad will be the vegetable, and maybe throw some ranch dressing on there, and that'd be your healthy fat for your first portion of healthy fat for the day. Meal number 4 then, maybe you have like an Avocare meal replacement shake. The shake's got carbs and protein in it, so it counts as a complete meal. And then maybe you had like some almonds with it. That would be another portion of healthy fat, so you'd have your 2 portions of healthy fats for the day. And then maybe meal number 5 for dinner, maybe you have some brown rice with a turkey burger and some green beans. And you, again, have a salad with it. So the vegetable would be the green beans in the salad. The ranch dressing would be the healthy fat. The protein would be the turkey burger. And the carb would be the brown rice. So this is an example. Now, what you guys should do, before your day starts, you should always print off a piece of paper and write out meal number 1, meal number 2, meal number 3. Shoot for at least 3 meals a day. And by those, you want to put a C for carb and a P for protein, and then just fill that in on what you're going to eat for the day, and then stick to your plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But again, I'm really going to show you guys how to plan and how to make it happen in 2 weeks with the next coaching session. That's really important. I'm going to show you guys a structured plan and how to make it and implement it into your life so that it works for you guys. All right, now I have included some 21-day rapid fat loss meal plans for you guys. Now you don't have to use those, but they do come in handy to get you going in the right direction for the first 3 weeks. So you guys, and I've included a grocery list too, so you can just follow the grocery list and stick to the plans. Now on those plans then, there's a meal plan A and a meal plan B. You're going to eat your meal plan A days on like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and your plan B meals on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And then again, Sunday would be your free day. Now again, you don't have to use these, but if you stick to it and use it as a reference to give you guys some meal ideas, it'll definitely get you going in the right direction. But my nursing clients who have followed this 21-day meal plan for the first 3 weeks to a T typically lose anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds. So you guys might want to follow it the first 3 weeks to help you just get going on it as you're learning carbs and protein and how to get the combinations that you guys like. All right, Avocare meal replacement shakes and bars. They help keep it simple and easy, especially if you're a busy nurse at work. Now what you can do is you can keep the meal replacement bars in your pockets, in your scrubs, and that way when you got it like a minute, you can just go ahead and open it up and just munch on half of it, and then maybe another munch on the other half of it 5 or 10 minutes later. But these bars have carbs and protein, so they count as a complete meal. Now with the shakes, what you can do is you can keep the shakes like at the nursing station, or you can just go ahead and keep it in the refrigerator in the office, in the break room. And all you got to do is just give it a quick shake, and you drink it, and it takes about 30 seconds to a minute to consume it. And the shakes have 20 grams of carbohydrates and they have 20 grams of protein. And it counts as a complete meal, and it'll keep you guys satisfied until you get to your next solid meal. Now, again, I highly suggest you guys use these because it keeps it simple and easy. I drink a shake every single morning for breakfast because I'm so busy in the mornings with my kids, getting them off to school and starting work and trying to get exercise in. So this just keeps it simple. I've been using a shake for breakfast, I don't know, for over 15 years. But again, it just keeps it really simple and easy. Excuse me, let me get a quick drink of water here. All right, so why AvocAre? Well, I've used AvocAre now for over 10 years, and it's a company that's got a medical advisory board, and they test all their products. And everything that goes out the door, they're guaranteeing what's on the nutrition label. Now, the FDA does not test supplements. So the stuff that you buy at Walmart, they've done people, the FDA have done tests on things like at Walmart and Walgreens, things like that. Half the stuff that's on the nutrition labels isn't even in the products because the FDA doesn't regulate that stuff. So you're not buying a lot of stuff like at Walmart and other places that's really healthy for you, and you don't even know what's going into your body. So that's why I use AvocAre. I always like to use a high-quality product because I know I'm putting it into my body. I don't like to put things into my body that you really don't know what's in the product. Now, I've included a link to my website in the email and in the PDF. And if you guys sign up underneath me, you'll get a 20% discount on all the products on my website there. Now, again, you don't have to do this, but I'm trying to make things as simple and easy for you guys because I know if you do it simple and easy, it's going to work for you. I'm a firm believer in having this emergency nutrition kit that we'll talk about in 2 weeks to help you guys eat better at work. But the shakes and bars make it so simple when you're at work. I promise you they'll help you guys get results as well, too. So if you sign up underneath me on my website, there's a 20% discount you guys can get to being a distributor. And when you do that, you get them shipped right to your house. So it's simple and easy. You guys just like having like an Amazon subscription as well. Now, what also the shakes and bars do then, they have enough calories in them to keep you satisfied again until you get to your next meal. And they have an equal amount of carbs and protein. And most of the stuff that you buy like at Walmart and stuff, they're usually like high in carbs and low in protein, or they're high in protein, low in carbs. Again, we want to try and keep things pretty balanced consistently in your meals that you're eating. That's going to keep that metabolism going. That's another reason why I like the AvocAre products. Now, this nutrition strategy works. This is going to be a totally different way probably compared to you guys have ever heard of eating. Again, it's not a diet, it's an eating program, but it works. These are some past clients who have ate like this and they lost a significant amount of weight. Like Carrie there, she lost 72 pounds. Laura in the middle dropped 70 pounds in 12 months. Lori dropped 49 pounds. Miranda there dropped 47 pounds. And Shelly lost like 7 or 8 inches off her waist there in the before and after picture. So eating like this actually works. I know you guys think that you got to cut way back and starve yourself, but you don't have to when you're on a good nutrition program and you do start maybe exercising down the road. Now, again, you don't have to exercise to lose weight, but I promise you it will help enhance your life. So I do include an exercise part of this program here and coming up in the next couple weeks. Now, water is huge as well. So I'm going to go in detail here now and explain to you guys how you should be drinking water and get the right amount of water in every single day, even if you're a busy nurse. So number one is you got to get like a 30-ounce bottle of water. Now, again, you want to drink half your body weight in ounces of water. For this purpose, we'll say you weigh 200 pounds. That means you want to drink about 100 ounces of water a day. I promise you can still do it as a nurse, even if you can't drink water at work. So you got to get a water bottle. Get like a 25 or 30-ounce water bottle, and you carry that thing around with you wherever you go. It's like your Bible. You're carrying it around with you no matter what. Now, let's say that if you have a 30-ounce water bottle, and let's say, again, you weigh 200 pounds, you're going to want to drink around 3 of those a day. That would put you at about 90 ounces. That's going to put you really close. What I suggest you do then is you get like 3 rubber bands, and you put those rubber bands on your water bottle, and every time you finish one of the water bottles, before you fill it up, you take one of the rubber bands off. Or you guys can mark this like on a nutrition journal and just mark your water as you go. But the rubber bands are a visual reminder of where you're at for the day, so you know you got to go ahead and drink your water. I also suggest you guys have what I call the 5-sip rule. Every time that your lips touch the container, you're taking 5 big gulps. That will help you guys consume the right amount of water. Now, to make it work as a busy nurse, you got to go ahead and chunk your day, or what I call segment your day. So you got to think like before work, during work, right after work, and in the evening before you go to bed. So if your goal is to drink 3 of those 30-ounce containers a day, what you want to try and do is drink as much as you can from the time that you get up, from the time that you leave your house. You know, your goal should be to drink 1 of those bottles of water. What you want to do then is before you leave your house, you want to go ahead and go to the bathroom, try and empty your system out. And then when you punch in at work again, you want to go to the bathroom right away before you punch in for work. This will empty your system out a little bit so you don't feel like you have to go to the bathroom all the time. Then what you want to do during work is your goal should try to be to drink one of those containers of water throughout the whole 8 to 12 hour shift that you're working. Now, if you can't do that, that's fine. You just do what you can. I know it can be challenging at work, so you just do what you can. Don't worry about it. But what you want to do then is right after work, from the time that you punch out to the time that you get home, you want to try and catch up a little bit. So you want to try and drink another container of water, whether you're walking at home or if you're taking the bus or if you're driving your own vehicle. From the time that you get punch out to the time that you get home, you want to consume and gulp as much water as you can and get it into your body. Then when you get home, from the time that you get home to about 2 hours before you go to bed, you want to try and drink the right amount of water that you need to catch up on for the day. Now, this, if you can stick to this, again, it will help you guys achieve the correct amount of water every single day. Now, is it going to be perfect? Definitely not. But now you guys have a plan, so when you get off track, you know how to get back on track again. Now, the great thing about drinking more water is when you start drinking more water, you actually start craving it more. So again, it makes it easier and easier when you start getting the right amount of water. Now, again, if you guys have questions about this water plan, just post in the Facebook group and I'll help you with it. All right, so action steps. We're winding down the first coaching video here. Watch this video a couple times. Remember, pause the video as you guys are going through it and take notes. When something confuses you or if you have questions, write it down and then ask in the Facebook group and take action on this. Don't procrastinate. So many people, when they learn something new, they just let it go in one ear and out the other. They don't take any action. They don't get results. I want to see who the action takers are. So I want you guys to succeed with this program. Even though it's an online program, you guys can definitely do it. So take action, get moving, change your body and your life. In the next coaching video too, we're going to talk about some goal setting. I'll show you guys some strategies and techniques that will really get you motivated. So some tips and reminders. Remember now, this is something new. It's going to take some time to establish this and get it down. Like I said, take action, don't procrastinate, but be consistent, but be patient. It's going to take some time. All right? The only way you guys can fail is if you give up doing this. So don't quit. Now, you're going to make mistakes once in a while, and that's all right. This isn't a diet. So if you guys make a mistake, you just get back on track with the next meal or the next day. So it's all right. The other thing to remember is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You got to create a good structured plan, just like I showed you with the water, how to do it. And you guys should definitely start working that on your own. But again, in 2 weeks, I'm going to show you guys how to establish a really good structured eating plan so that you guys can make it happen with your busy lifestyle as a nurse. And use those 21-day rapid fat loss meal plans to keep it simple and easy to give you guys some direction going here with the first couple weeks. All right, so here's what's coming in 2 weeks in the next coaching session then. I'm going to show you guys how to set goals and how to use them properly to get you motivated and get you guys excited and get you up off the couch and get moving in the right direction. I'm going to show you guys how to get fully committed with this weight loss program. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the least committed and 10 being the most committed, I'm going to show you guys how to get to a solid 10 so that this program works for you. We're going to really nail down your nutrition emergency kit that you guys are going to keep at work. So I'm going to show you what you should be keeping at work. And again, I'm going to show you guys how to structure a detailed nutrition plan so that you guys really plan things out ahead of time. I'm going to show you guys how to meal prep. And I'm going to show you guys how to do the grocery shopping and show you guys what days you should be doing it and why you should be doing it on the same day every week. You guys are going to love what's coming up in 2 weeks. Again, I want to say thank you for being a new client. I'm excited to help you guys. And if you guys have any questions, again, post them in the Facebook group. But I'll talk with you guys in 2 weeks then on the next coaching session. Thanks a lot, everybody. Make it a great day.